countries are starting to, some countries are starting to realize that these tropical rainforests have value in and of themselves. Quite honestly, way more value than the value of the beef that they could conceivably produce. And so of the world's forests, about 14% of the forest are now protected um, to some degree. In some cases, we'll talk later on about how they're designated as protected areas, but there's no money, zero money, to put out there to protect them. But anyway, so 14% of these areas are covered. And I remember, I haven't honestly looked for a long time now, but if you would go shopping at a place like Whole Foods, sometimes you would find things like Tropical Nut Crunch or some name like that. And what it is it's where people go out in the forest and there's Brazil nuts and other cashews and whatever, and they harvest what is there. And it ends up that one of the most ecologically progressive countries in these areas where we have, I've got to move this over so you can see it, where we have tropical rainforests are going to be countries like Costa Rica. Costa Rica has a lot of ecotourism, and they recognize that their forests are very important. And so they have started a program called Forest Guardianship. And what they do is they get they involve the local people. You have to involve the locals for any of these kind of programs to work. And so what they do is they involve the people in protecting these forests, and they do things like encourage, instead of cutting down the trees to produce grassland, you can have agricultural animals grazing in these forests, and there are benefits to that. A lot of the seeds and things that are that result in these trees, they are very hard and they need to pass through a digestive tract. An animal has to eat them and poop them out the other side for them to be able to germinate. And so not only does this help activate some of these seeds, it also helps with spreading them around. And so they're encouraging people to protect the forest, and even some areas to utilize it as grazing lands. So Costa Rica is doing that. And then, we always say, what's wrong with Brazil? They shouldn't allow them to cut down the tropical rainforest. Well, it's easy for us to say, right? It's easy for us to say, if you're a peasant and you are a farmer and your land is ruined and you're not going to make any money, well, what are you going to do? You're going to cut down and burn some more of the forest. So how do you address that problem? Well, you pay them. So there was a meeting held in 2009 in Copenhagen, and I was trying to see, they ended up with, what they came up with was something called the REDD program, the REDD program. And this is basically a program where they agreed for people like us who are saying, what's wrong with those people? They shouldn't be burning the forest, to put our money where our mouth is, basically. And we agreed to pay the farmers not to burn the forest. And it takes very little money. It ends up that the minimum payments in 2013 for this program to prevent people from deforesting the Amazon was $16 a year. That's all it took to stop a farmer from cutting down the rainforest. So we have this REDD program, which is very effective in slowing this process of deforestation.